Hey there in YouTube land. So with the Criterion sale over, having gone on last month, why make the Criterion collection video now? Well, did I buy any Criterions this time around? No, my better half did, I think, pick up something for me for Christmas. Just one, but apparently it's a good one. And I won't know until Christmas what that is. But I decided, and this is going to go into a video that I'm making after this, to just highlight and go through my Criterion collection that I do have. I've got mostly DVDs. Got I got a few Blu-rays. So, as commanded by the giant lobster head, let's take a look at my Criterions, and maybe I'll give you some suggestions along the way, and talk about why I bought the Criterions that I did, why I got the ones I got. They could be films that I fantastically love, and maybe I went to a store and found a really cheap one. So, let's find out. I'm going to try to do these in numerical order, and I'm going to start the DVDs first because there's more of those. First up is the Kurosawa Seven Samurai. This one was a favorite of mine. I like Kurosawa a lot, actually. Who doesn't, though? I mean, like, he does have that kind of he does different stuff. But I'm a big fan of the samurai films. And this is one of the bigs. This is a great edition, by the way. If you're there's a Blu-ray edition, so if you can get the Blu-ray edition, I definitely pick it up. But I grabbed the DVD edition, number 2 in the Criterion collection. I got this one for a very good price. Disc 1 has the part 1 of the film. Disc 2 has part 2 of the film. Because remember, this is a 207-minute film. So this is not a short film. But we got like Disc 3 is the supplements. We got My Life in Cinema, a 2-hour video conversation with Akira Kurosawa that was done in 1993. Seven Samurai Origins and Influence, a documentary looking at samurai traditions and films that inspired Kurosawa's masterpiece. There's a great booklet in here as well, by the way. And I'm not going to do this for all of these because it'll make this video forever, but just a very, very cool, well-done booklet. I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook a few minutes ago. I gotta say, having some of you guys here that are on my YouTube, on my Facebook as well, and my Twitter, especially my Facebook, because I check that a lot more. It was really awesome because I get to talk to you and actually outside these videos. So feel free to add me. Just let me know who you are, like that way, so I know. Usually I do know, but just in case. My memory is not what it used to be. This was probably one of the first Criterions that I bought. I bought it because it was a favorite film of mine. I was not collecting Criterions at the time that I bought this movie. It was kind of the last thing in my mind that was a Criterion. It really didn't matter to me. It's just, it's number 7 in the Criterion collection. I wanted this movie really bad. I in no way collected Criterion at the time of this movie, that I bought this movie. I just found this movie and I really liked it. The Criterion collecting came later on from watching on YouTube videos and actually watching this movie and seeing the quality of it. And then another movie came out, which we'll get to, actually, that actually really sparked my love of Criterion. But it is Roy Ward Baker's directed A Night to Remember. This is my favorite version of Titanic. It's just incredible. And there's some great features on it. It's the 2-disc edition. We got an audio commentary, of course, on here by the guy that did Titanic and Illustrated History. But the real cool stuff, the meat of the special features, is on the 2nd disc. Making of A Night to Remember is a 60-minute documentary about it. We got archival interview with one of the Titanic survivors, Eva Hart. This is really cool. A half-hour Swedish documentary featuring interviews with survivors. And because I'm really weird, I like this one here. The Iceberg That Sank the Titanic. A 50-minute BBC documentary done from the point of view of the iceberg. Kind of like a scientific thing. It's not a Michael Bay type of thing. But really, really cool. Love this movie. Again, great stuff in here as well. I live in Newfoundland, so we actually have a Titanic exhibit. Of course, this is where, off the coast back there, is where the Titanic. So, yeah, we have exhibits with some. God, I'm trying to get this right. At the Geo Center, we have a Titanic exhibit that comes in every once in a while, and we have one like this actually there all the time, like a really big one with a lot of like stuff from the ship and stuff that went on around that time. Next up is Diabolique. This is actually one that I really wanted for a long time. It's one that I watched a few times. I was kind of wondering, like, I wanted the film, and it's a thriller, and there's kind of a hook to it. So I was wondering, once I know the hook, am I still gonna watch? Like, am I gonna watch it again? And the answer was yes. I watched it like 3 or 4 times, because it also has a really cool ending that's kind of debated among film fans. My personal thoughts on it, without giving anything away, is that the boy that never lies, and he saw what he saw, and it correlates with an earlier on aspect of the film. A lot of people don't pick up or don't think that, but I think that the boy actually did see what he saw. This, by the way, is number 35 in the Criterion Collection, and Henry George Clouseau is a fantastic filmmaker. Next up is 39 Steps. I love Hitchcock. When you saw my Blu-rays that you had to have type of thing, you noticed I had a Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection and kind of the early collections there as well. But these Criterion's been putting out the British ones that he did before that. 39 Steps is a fantastic film. We love this one here. Sat down and watched this with my better half. Great film. And it's kind of abrupt. But this cool little Hitchcock, the early years on it. Lux Radio Theater, which I love. I loved putting these in and listening to them. People take these things for granted so much. But these radio theater adaptations, they're so fun. I mean, like, I know that a lot of people get them and they never listen to them, but there's such great stuff that are on here. I would love to see more of these. Like, I'm glad that Warner, those companies actually put some of those on there. Let me know if you actually listen to the radio adaptations. I really do. I like to listen to them. I like to put them in sometimes if I'm going to sleep or at night and I just don't want to watch anything. I got so much YouTube to catch up on. Last week has been really killer for me. Work-wise, I have been swamped. I had to do an information booth today. And so I was up like 5 in the morning getting stuff together. And did the booth. Actually got to speak to a few people. Great speech went on there. And I loved it. So anyway, this is number 56. This should have been number 39. Wouldn't that have been cool? I think so. Next up is one that I did find for a very cheap price. But it's one that I really wanted. I am a big fan of the Wes Anderson films. A lot of people are becoming big fans of Wes Anderson now, and some people are always big fans of Wes Anderson. But I think the Grand Budapest Hotel really brought in a lot more people. But this was an earlier one called Rushmore, number 65. Really like this film. It's got a really cool map on the inside of it. We have audio commentaries, just a bunch of stuff. And the cool thing is that Criterion, in order to get Wes Anderson's films, they have to let Wes Anderson's brother actually do the art. And he does actually a pretty cool job. He does the artwork for all Wes Anderson's movies. So it's all kind of cool, quirky stuff. Next up is one that I liked. I'm really surprised this is a Criterion film. Not because I don't think it totally deserves it, but because, I don't know, it's just very different for Criterion. It's one that I liked, but I can honestly say I never thought this was going to be Criterion. And it is number 75. I got it at a dollar store for $1. And it is Chasing Amy. I'll have a lot of fun with this. I like the View Askew universe. I listen to some of the Smodcasts. Kevin Smith did a bunch on where he listens to himself. It's like at a much younger age, because he taped himself when he was like talking about stuff, and it's hilarious. It's the best podcast ever. I mean, I've heard some great podcasts. Mood 616 is an amazing podcast, by the way. You guys gotta check that out. I listen to a lot of podcasts. But anyway, I love the View Askew universe. That's a really cool film. Definitely check it out. I love the fact that it has like the cartoon type art on the inside. Special edition DVD. Next up is another one that I found for cheaper. It's not one that I would originally have gone out and got because of what it was, but once I got it, I was like so happy I did, and I wish they'd done more along these lines. Maybe made a special line of them with important artists that deserve it. But it's the Beastie Boys anthology and video anthology, and it's like got a lot of great songs. Intergalactic, Shake Your Rump, Gratitude, Something's Got to Give, Short Shot, Hey Ladies, Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun, Body Movement, So What You Want, Sabotage, of course, Sadarak, 3 MCs and 1 DJ, Ricky's Theme, Pass the Mic, Holy Snappers, and Root Down Nettie's Girl, and Alive. It has this option to like watch from all these different angles and stuff. Very, very cool. You actually have a book in here, by the way, that tells you how to navigate and use the videos to their to the best extent. Like video angles are on here, like alternate audio tracks. There's some really cool stuff. I'd love to see some stuff like this done for some other artists that I enjoy as well. Next up is one that I originally wasn't sure of. I got this one on eBay, and it's an earlier Criterion. You'll know when you see the, well, I guess the lack of the Criterion logo in the way that you know it now. But it is number 142, and it is Peter Weir's The Last Wave. You know, when I first saw that, I looked at, what's his name again? Richard Chamberlain, I think? Chamberlain? It's on here. Yeah, Richard Chamberlain. Actually, I thought that was like Kevin, what's it? The guy from Invasion of Body Snatchers. Just look for a second. Can you kind of see that? Well, anyway, this was actually a really good film. The reason I wasn't sure about it was because I had Picnic at Hanging Rock. I gave it to my daughter, actually, because I was going to like upgrade to the new one and wanted her to have her first Criterion. Next up is my other Wes Anderson film that I have. Actually, a really cool film, a great edition. I love the box for this one as well, and it is The Royal Tenenbaums. And just so you know, yes, they didn't crap out. They actually did let Wes Anderson's brother, who's an artist, create the design, which I really like actually. Very cool stuff in here as well. Very fun film. If you like Wes Anderson, you're definitely gonna like this movie. Next up is one that was actually a favorite of mine and my better half because we're that weird. It's very different, and apparently it was. I'm not sure if the cut was cut this way on purpose, but it stayed. But it is the way that that thing was cut, and it is. You know, in time brief, not the cut thing. It's number 175. The last one was 157, by the way, and that's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Yeah, we are really big fans of this. I'm a big fan of of Hunter S. Thompson, and you know, Gonzo himself. And why? Because I was a journalist, and this was one of my idols. Thompson's work with Rolling Stone magazine, the books he wrote, and the articles and stuff they did was revolutionary for me. When I was watching, when I was reading articles and stuff growing up, I was always kind of like a news junkie. I wanted to be a columnist, wanted to like really get stuff out there, and I was into film. So obviously, when I was in high school, I did the film section of the newspaper, and when I got out of school, after spending years in training for acting, did everything I could do to train for acting. I mean, I did voice lessons because early on I stuttered a lot, and I needed those. Thanks to a teacher that I spoke about in one video, she helped me actually stop like stuttering to the. Well, you could not. I would not be able to do these videos right now because you would not be able to understand me. That's how bad it was. Got into acting, wrote some stuff, went into directing. Kind of fell in love with the behind the scenes part of it near the end, and ended up not going the acting route and saying, shag it. I really want to do something different. I want to be. I want to make a. See, this is it. Oh, cool. friend of mine just scored some awesome stuff on Amazon, which is really cool. So when you're watching this video, congratulations, Matthew. And not my son. Good friend of mine from YouTube. Well, from Facebook. YouTube. You know. Anyway, yeah, after years of acting, I realized that I liked journalism a lot. I went down that road and went to journalism school and got burned out from writing a lot. Writing, where I went, we wrote, and we did radio, and we did TV, and I'm getting distracted right now. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you anymore with my journalism. But anyway, yeah, I went down the journalism route for quite a long while, and this was one of my idols. So I loved seeing this one. This one, and I've got to get Where the Buffalo Roams as well. This one I found for like $3, I think, at a thrift store. I had not seen the movie before, and which is such a shame because it's an early Criterion, and one that I really, really enjoyed. Ronald Neame did this one, and it stars Sir Alec Guinness and Sir John Mills. It's number 225 in the Criterion Collection, and it's called Tunes of Glory. It's about a changing of guard and how that can affect everybody around. The different aspects, the different personalities, the clash, and what tragic circumstances that can be made from people that just can't let go. Next up is a favorite of mine. I actually find this really kind of creepy. It's just me. I like Japanese films a lot. My son he loves a lot of the Japanese, Koreans. He loves a lot of the Korean stuff and Japanese films. He knows a lot more about these than I do. But I like some of the early stuff, and this one here kind of creeped me out. It's a movie that, although it has words, it could easily been a silent film. Because it's really that it's that good. The images are that evocative and that amazing. And it's number 226 in the Criterion Collection, and I was glad to find this on eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere for a while. It's Unibaba. Beautiful film. I hear that the British edition has actually a better, crisper quality picture. I don't have a problem with the picture there, but it would be nice to get a nice Blu-ray edition of Unibaba down the road. Hopefully Criterion will be doing that because they are reissuing some in some movies that they did previously. Of course, one of the early ones was, of course, Picnic at Hanging Rock, which came out again with the book. I don't have that yet, but definitely worth picking up. Next up, hands down, one of my favorites of all time, has a very weird feature on it, but interesting nonetheless. This film is haunting. It's entrancing, and I love it. It's a French film. Eyes Without a Face. Just watch it. You really should just watch it. It's just one of those really good films. Next up is one I found at Value Village, so I paid $2.99 for it. Noah Baumbach made a movie called Kicking and Screaming. At the time, I hadn't known a lot about it, but I was glad to find it. There's there's a short film on here as well. There's video conversation, and it really got me digging the work of Noah Baumbach. I'm really glad I did because I like his stuff a lot now. And it's Kicking and Screaming. Love the art on this. It's number 349, the Criterion Collection. Next up is the latest purchase for me. The only one I got during the Criterion Flash Sale. One that I wanted for a long, long time, and it's going to be big for mine when next Halloween comes around. And that is the Monsters and Mad Men set. I just got to open this one up again because you know what? It really is that beautiful of a set. That's the Quarters of Blood. That's the Haunted Strangler. Just look how beautiful that is. The Atomic Submarine. And the First Man in Space. I mean, when the Criterion sale's on, if you didn't pick these up, shame on you. You really should have. These are amazing, amazing films. Deserve to be checked out. They really, really deserve to be checked out. You gotta be honest, incredibly great stuff. So stoked that I actually got those. Those were ones that actually made me extremely happy. I was unsure if I was going to be able to get anything at the time. I picked that up, and it was just so worth it. That'd have been nice. Next up is a couple of French films that my better half recommended to me because I hadn't seen them, and I'm gonna be honest. But incredible stuff. I mean, if you're like the old gangster movies and noir, the French really did know how to do it right, and she brought me into this whole world of like French noir cinema with some great stuff. I mean, love Jean-Paul Belmondo. We got Lino Ventura in this one as well. Great, great stuff. And it's Classe Touriste. Really, if you haven't checked it out, watch it. It's a great movie. Next up is one by Jean-Pierre Melville. And again, Lino Ventura, because he was like the guy that did like a lot of these things. He was kind of their Bogart. Definitely had the look. Oh man, I'm just going to put it up there so you guys can say the words because I suck at French. Like getting the pronunciation right. So I'm not going to try and embarrass myself here. So guys, this one here. Maybe you can phonetically spell it out there or something. I used to know it. Every time I did this video, I would go and I'd ask her. But again, it is a great, great film. Check it out. Really, seriously, check it out. These are fantastic films. Next, every time we did the Criterion sale, we always took one that would be different. A different chance, a risk, so to speak. Something that we'd really, really get into. And it always paid off. I mean, it would always be something we hadn't seen before. We'd watch it, get enthralled with it, and that would be our big thing. And that time, the first time we did it, we got science fiction, 23 film. My God, my voice today. 23 films by Jean Painlevé. Really, really worth having. It's a 3-disc set. Man, there's like aside from 23 films, there's a big like 169-minute documentary on Jean Painlevé, and man, it's amazing. The dude from 1902 to 1989, just really cool, kind of like science fact type, like short films, kind of a surrealist. You got a lot of really cool images in there. Just watch. I can't really describe it. It's really, really cool if you get a chance to see it do so. Next one I got for $5 in the $5 bin at Walmart. And it is Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I'm actually not a big fan of the film. Not at all. It really, but if you had like the regular edition, and then they had this like 2-disc Criterion edition there, and I collect Criterion, so yeah. But as for the film itself, as much as I like Fincher, this is not one of his best for me. I think The Social Network is way, way better. I like The Game better. I like pretty much any Fincher film better than this. I like Alien 3 better than this. A lot of people love this movie, and I got a feeling that there's something in this movie that's really been lost on me, but it is lost on me. Next up, I want to recommend everybody that gets Criterion or just wants a really cool, freaky film. House. House is really weird. It came out in '77, and it is a strange film. It is. There's like the color palettes are incredible. The story for what it is amazingly strange. Just really love this. Check it out. I really can't describe this movie. I always say it's like Scooby-Doo on acid, directed by same message by Mary Bava. Just really, really cool stuff. I'm a big silent film fan, and when I was growing up as a kid, they would show one of the things that they used to show for a while on TV in the afternoons was Charlie Chaplin shorts. And man, you would think, wouldn't it be awesome if they did that nowadays? If that stuff like that came about, no, you'd have to wait and come until see them. There'd be a certain day or something like that. But we had like one channel, and Yes, one channel. And the channel was like CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And we had like a lot of really cool different shows on there. But the there was a strong lean towards educational uh, programming, not boring education, but like a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of really different films on there. The went for a lot of foreign films, a lot of the older Universal stuff, a lot of the silent stuff, and I'm sure some of the reasoning was probably because they could get it for a cheaper price. But it enabled me, as a young man, to watch a lot of really groundbreaking stuff that probably wouldn't have gotten through to me if I hadn't saw it at such an early age and just like drank it in pretty much. And every day they'd show the silent films. They'd have like Ronald Howard, Sherlock Holmes episode on, and not Ron Howard, but Ronald Howard. You've seen it. There's been like the box that comes out all the time. It's usually fairly cheap, and just really great stuff. Anyway, Modern Times, excellent film. Really, really an excellent film. There's like some shorts on here, by the way. The Rink, which I remember from seeing when I was younger, and they got a kind of little Cuban documentary on there as well. So there's a lot of good features on the thing. I'm a huge Charlie Chaplin fan. Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and Harold Lloyd. I think Harold Lloyd is like ranking up there as he's on par with Chaplin for me. Next up is one of my favorite directors, is Kubrick, and The Killing is just an amazing film. Love this. This one actually has a second movie on it called Killer's Kiss, which is an earlier film by Kubrick, like kind of a film noir thing. So definitely worth checking out. 2 movies for the price of 1. Love this one here. Great, great films, both of them actually. This was the second time when we went through and got something kind of, I guess we could say slightly experimental. And it was probably our first Criterion box set, if you want to say that. And it's only like 2 discs, but it's the complete Jean Vigo. And this is like the godfather of French cinema, French New Wave cinema. This is the guy that the others watched. Just some incredible, incredible stuff on here. This is the stuff that Romer and Truffaut and all those guys, this is who they grew up idolizing, watching his films, like seeing how he did and worked cinema. Love this set. My favorite on here, it's hard to just give a favorite, but Zero de Conduit is really good, and there would be no if it wasn't for Zero de Conduit. If you don't know what If is, please find out. It's a really great Malcolm McDowell film, British film that's really worth checking out. Next up is one that I'm sure my good friend 4K Cinema HD would really appreciate, and I know he has it, and it is Godzilla, the edition. And as always, every time I do this, because I'm a big kid, I have to do this. By the way, pretty cool, huh? I can't make the Godzilla noise. 4K Cinema, make Godzilla noise for me. You know how to do that. You're like the Godzilla. You and my son are the Godzilla experts, I know. Oh, new Gamma setup, by the way, guys. That's every Gamma movie on it in Blu-ray. Oh, so want that. I'm a Polanski fan. I love Polanski's films. Sure, there's stuff that is very controversial that Polanski was involved in, or allegedly involved in. I don't know. But Polanski is one of those great, great filmmakers. My better half sister she does, I guess, what would you call it? She works for the film festival in Marrakesh. Every year she flies in from Montreal where she lives, and she's one of the people that actually hosts and talks with the filmmakers that come in. And one of the people that she spoke with once was Scorsese. And she asked who Scorsese's favorite filmmaker was, and he mentioned Polanski. So I hope that was Scorsese. Yeah, Scorsese, because there's Coppola. No, Scorsese, yeah. Scorsese has a huge thing to do with the Marrakesh Film Festival, by the way, which is getting really big. I want to go there one year. It's just a hotbed of like really, really great films and filmmakers. And for me, it's up there with like seeing something like Cannes and stuff like that. If you know about the film festival, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They have the hotel there where guys like Churchill and Hitchcock and people stayed. Insane prices, but really cool. Anyway, Rosemary's Baby. Love this one here. I wish you would have put the TV movie on here, like the sequel. Not the best film, but interesting. But they did put an interesting, like kind of like a full-length documentary on here. But the composer and a jazz musician, Christoph Comito, and I really enjoyed that. Next up is a fave of mine. We are both hearing this as big Alain Delon fans, and this is kind of him in his youth, and had his peak, I would say. Patricia Highsmith is the writer of the movie, of the book Strangers on a Train, which was brought in by Alfred Hitchcock. But Alfred Hitchcock originally wanted to do one of her other books. Unfortunately, it was bought out by somebody else first. And he made the movie of The Talented Mr. Ripley, and he called it Purple Noon. Hitchcock was going to make sure that he did make that same mistake again. So she ensured that he got Strangers on a Train and made a fantastic film, probably one of Hitchcock's best. Now, Purple Noon is a fantastic film by René Clément, and you should really, really check it out. It is, for me, the definitive edition of Mr. Ripley. Speaking of Hitchcockian-type films, I really like this one here. Ray Milland did a great job in this movie. It's done by Fritz Lang, so you can imagine the kind of really cool, unique, symmetrical, like, type of camera work that's done in here. Just very cool stuff. With Fritz Lang, you know that you're going to get really cool, nightmare, almost inducing cinematic visuals. The symmetry is going to be fantastic, and it's going to be haunting and beautiful at the same time. And it is actually Ministry of Fear. It's a favorite of mine. One of Charlie Chaplin's most political films, and definitely one of his most underrated. It's not the comedy that the other ones are, but it's definitely a great film, and it is Monsieur Vidot. Next up again, because I like the Japanese stuff. Gate of Hell. If you've seen this, you know what a fantastic film this is. You know how amazing this film looks. But if you haven't, it's a really, if you're into Japanese cinema, it's a fantastic film to check out. Next up was another one of those sets that I really wanted to get and check out, because I didn't have anything by this guy, and he's a French comedy master, and I love comedy when it's done right. I love Jacques Tati, I like Chaplin, I like all those guys there, but I really, really wanted this, and it's the Purito's collection. The Suitor, Yo-Yo, As Long as You've Got Your Health, Rupture, Happy Anniversary, Le Grand Amour, Feeling Good, and Land of Milk and Honey. Just 3 set. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. We have, like, aside from the films here, we got a bunch of extras on here as well. We got this really, really cool documentary on the guy as well. Gotta check it out. Next up's one of my favorites. And speaking of good documentaries, this is probably one of the best documentaries in any of all the Criterions that I got. And it's from Safety at Last, Harold Lloyd. When I say there is one Criterion that you must own, and most people are going to go and they're going to say Seven Samurai, which is a beautifully fantastic film by Kurosawa, and Kurosawa is amazing director. But for me, one of the ones that I have to own, that has to be in my collection, if I had to give up half of my Criterion collection, one of the ones that would stay no matter what, is Safety Last. It is just that good of a film. I really enjoy it. The pacing of this film is amazing, and people remember this scene, or like have seen this like clock sequence somewhere and have not known where it's from. But it's not just the clock sequence, it's the build up to getting to that sequence. A lot of movies nowadays, they'll have set pieces that they work towards, and you can tell that, okay, this is the shot in the movie, this is the money shot of the film. It doesn't work like that with this film. Although this is a fantastic, memorable sequence, everything had to come together just perfectly to make this the shot it was, or it just come off as gimmicky and not exactly memorable. But it doesn't. It comes off as a really well done film all throughout. Harold Lloyd's character of the boy is well fleshed out, and he does just an incredible job. Safety Last is one I strongly, strongly recommend you pick up. It has a great documentary on Lloyd on here as well. Second disc is a 108-minute documentary on Harold Lloyd. Definitely check it out. He's one of the masters. Devil's Backbone. Del Toro. Love this film. As in like a mini Criterion one. It's a beautiful film. I think this one was set during Civil War. Yeah, during the Spanish Civil War. And number 666 in the Criterion Collection. Really cool that it did it that way. And definitely a really cool Halloween type film for you. It is one that you will watch over. Another one that I really dug, I gotta say, really, really dug it, was Seconds by John Frankenheimer. I had found about this movie from my father. He knew much more about this film than I did. He'd seen it in theaters when he was younger. And I remember I saw it, well, VHS tapes, I think. And it was like a taped off VHS one. So I had not seen it since then. So it was really cool to come back and find out exactly how this was going to look. And it's a great film. It's a science fiction type of film, a little bit of thriller to it. Another one of the ones that I would definitely, the great finds. Oh man, Ernest of Which Is to Be or Not to Be. When I reviewed this, I gave this top stellar reviews, and it stands to this day. I've watched it like 3 times since then, and I just think it is a beautiful film. Jack Benny, Carol Lombard, I think was her last role. Beautiful actress, of course. Amazing film. Amazing, amazing film. Some great things on there. Radio anthology stuff, and you know how I like the radio. So anyway, that is my DVDs. Let's get to the Criterion Blu-rays. Oh boy. First up is a Fellini film, and it is number 4 in the Criterion Collection, and it's a favorite of mine. Some people remember it for the big-breasted character. Other people remember it because it's a fantastic snapshot into Fellini's boyhood, and it is Emicord. This is probably what I consider one of the best-looking DVDs, Blu-rays that they put out. It's not as in like I'm checking about the actual packaging and real packaging. There's a lot of great stuff in here. There's a 45-minute documentary on Fellini's Homecoming, which is really cool. Definitely check this movie out. If you haven't seen any Fellini, it's a great one to start with, because it starts with his youth, and you should start with his youth too, and work your way out from there and see some of the different stuff. And if you want to get into the more experimental stuff, that's a pretty good, cool, straightforward film. The Lady Vanishes, another fantastic Hitchcock film. Really love this one, actually. Michael Redgrave did a great job in this. There was a second film in this called Crooks Tour. I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I really, really need to. Of course, again, excerpts from Truffaut's legendary interview with Hitchcock. Very cool stuff. Next one's a favorite of many people's, and I really like this one as well. Another Fritz Lang film, M. This made Peter Lorre into like a huge star. He it's fantastic. There's a Claude Chabrol film on this, and as much as I wanted M, I'm a huge Claude Chabrol fan as well. So I needed to have that. A great 50-minute film, basically a conversation with Fritz Lang by Wim Friedkin. Wim Friedkin is a fantastic filmmaker, and he really knows and studies the art of film. I gotta say, I'm a really big fan of Friedkin's. I didn't know about this film. My father actually told me about this film. You know, I'm going to give credit here. My father is a huge cinephile, and he knows his movies very well. He really knows his stuff. And he'll like turn me on to some film, and I'll like totally fall in love with it. And this is one of them, Black Narcissus. Man, I think this one, yeah, this was Sammy. Just saying Sammy. Color 5 and 7. You know I'm Sammy. Amazing film by Michael Powell. A lot of people love, God, The Life and Death. Oh my God, it's going to totally slip my mind now. But some of his other works, I just really, really love this film. I think it's amazing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing, and I totally fell in love with the insane character in the film. Even if I was not a Criterion collector, I am a horror collector, and Cronenberg's one of my faves. A lot of his early stuff is really, really cool and really trippy, and Videodrome is one of those films. Just really cool. And by the way, if you haven't got this one yet, cool beta tape looking packaging. Very awesome stuff. Speaking of cool packaging, I also like a lot of Linkletter's work, and Dazed and Confused is a must for me. This is one of the ones that I got during the whole buying the complete collection thing. Great, great film. One of the coolest ones that they put out was Ace in the Hole. It's just a favorite of mine. Kirk Douglas, right? Is this Kirk Douglas? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Kirk Douglas plays Chuck Tatum, and basically he's a journalist that sees an opportunity, and stuff happens. But what's really extra cool about this, and I love the fact that they do this, they put in, instead of their usual, and by the way, this is one of their famous dual formats. Oh man, I wish they still did the dual formats. It's done like a newspaper. I love the way this is done. It is amazing. If you haven't checked this film out, it's a really, really great film to check out. I think I remember Spike Lee talking about it once in an interview. Yeah, Spike Lee actually does a video afterward here. Maybe that's where I watched the interview. I don't think so. I think I watched it before, though. I actually did a contest a while back. I'm going to do one fairly... Well, I'm going to do it after Christmas now, because, well, Christmas has been kind of an expensive time for me, and none of my Christmas gifts are getting out on time this time, because my better half doesn't get in until, like, shortly before Christmas, so any, like, holiday stuff that I'm getting out this year is unfortunately going to come out late. I hate that, but hopefully better late than never. But anyway, I did a contest, gave this film away, and wanted a copy for myself so bad because I really, really love this film. And it's Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. Of course, this is Belmondo again, right? I'm sure it's Belmondo. Yeah, and Jean Seberg, who I'm totally in love with. She was like totally just beautiful in this one here. Gorgeous film, really cool. So many films like follow this. Got this one on Father's Day. Did not expect it. And what's ironic is because, I'm talking with my dad a lot tonight, actually. I had got this one earlier for my dad for Christmas. And it is an amazing film, one of my favorites. And it is my dad's favorite film of all time. And I can see why. It is just gorgeous, and the acting is incredible, and it's haunting, and it's the only film that Charles Laughton ever directed. And of course, it's Night of the Hunter, with a fantastic documentary on here, by the way. 2.5 hours. Gotta check it out. Next up is one of those films that just snaps. It's an early film. It kind of has, the dialogue has kind of a Mammoth type feel to it. And I gotta say, again, another one done by Oscar-winning cinematographer James Wong Howe, who actually worked on a couple of the other ones that I mentioned back there. There's an actual documentary on it here. Yeah, I got to check that out. I haven't seen the documentary yet. Sweet Smell Success, guys. Really great film. We got Tony Curtis here. We got Burt Lancaster. Two amazing actors. It's a tour de force. Just incredibly crisp dialogue. Very noirish. Very cool. Blowout. This cover, first time I saw this cover, I was like, what? And then I thought about it, and I had watched the movie again. I was like, yeah, this cover completely explains the entire film. Your entire life just in a shambles. And John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow in Blowout. Beautiful film by, of course, one of my favorite directors of all time, Brian De Palma. But who's Brian De Palma to me? He is filmmaking legend. I was in the dumps, not feeling the greatest. Better half was there, and she bought this for me. And she has an amazing ability to do this. We'll go into like H&B, I'll be looking around and stuff like that, and she'll go in and she'll see something that she thinks I'm going to like, and she'll pick it up for me without me even noticing that she'd gone to the counter and get it. And got it. And that was the case for this one here. I'd had a really bad day. Something that I'm having a lot of lately with my better half gone. But this one here has the cool pulp looking cover to it. Just stunning. Produced and directed by Robert Aldrich. Ralph Meeker is just perfect as Mike Hammer. And it's Kiss Me Deadly. And this is the total package for a Criterion film. You want it to have great features, it's got great features. You want it to have a really great presentation, it's got a great presentation. You want a fantastic film, it is a fantastic film. Seriously guys, really worth checking out, really worth buying. I know that a few people that started with my channel went and saw me talking about this one a lot, and actually ended up getting it, and we're glad they did, and Kiss Me Deadly is a wonderful film. If you're a fan of Repo Man, you want to know where they got it at, watch Kiss Me Deadly. This is my favorite early Hitchcock film. It runs 75 minutes long. It was remade into a much more Hollywoody type film, which is good and stuff for, it's a more glossy film. But this one is really good, and the way that the female, the main female in this one is portrayed as well is extremely strong, especially for back in 1934. We got Peter Lorre in this film here, and it is amazing. I loved it. Every second of this. There's not a wasted not a wasted bit of cellulite in this film. And that's what I love, when you can just get a tight, crisp film that's so well edited, so well done, and just draws you right in. And basically, you got a couple. They're visiting in Switzerland. The wife is in the Olympics for basically, she can shoot really well. And Peter Lorre plays a really slimy villain that does an amazing job. The Man Who Knew Too Much. Great cover, great movie. Definitely worth picking up. Don't worry guys, we're almost done here. So we're going to try to get this in under the 50-minute mark. Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. Look at that cover, isn't that sexy? This again is in one of the dual formats. I tried to get all the dual format ones, really cool. Love this movie. Not much more I can really say about them right now, but just really enjoy it. And of course, Foreign Correspondent, another great Hitchcock film. We love our Hitchcock here. Just, you gotta own all the Hitchcock on Criterion. You really do. It's just, need to. Again, I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. This was actually the first Wes Anderson one I think I bought. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Very cool film. You can actually, finally, Wes Anderson film you can actually watch for the kids. I guess you can watch a lot of them because there's not really like a lot. But, this is the one the kids will enjoy. It's the big one. Has the book with it. 709, the Criterion Collection. Again, another dual format edition. I want to get all these where they're still available. By Howard Hawks. Stars John Wayne and Montgomery Clift. Two of the greatest Western actors of all time. Red River, really guys, great film. Awesome that's got the book in there as well. Scanners, a lot of people really didn't get into this one. I think they had it hyped up to be something more than it was. But Scanners is a great little film. I really have a lot of fun with this Cronenberg film. If you haven't checked it out, Michael Ironside really rocks this film. People kind of do not dig the other actor that was in the film, like the lead guy, Stephen Lack, I think his name was. Stephen Lack. I'm pretty sure Stephen Lack. I could be wrong here on his name, but yeah, people really didn't like him. But he chose to play it in that kind of way, basically, because of the character that it was. He was more of a not so much an actor as he was a visual artist, and he became very famous for his artwork later on. Last but not least, one that I recommend you guys all go out and pick up, because it's amazingly beautiful set that my better half was so excited when it was announced. Number 713, and we go from 713 to 719 with a great book, the Jock to Me set. There are just some great films on here. Donkey Skin is amazing. A lot of people love The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, but for me, the winner on this one, the one you gotta check out, the best one of all, is The Young Girls of Rochefort. Check it out. It's an amazing film. Not at all what you think. It's even better. Just check it out. Great, great film. Thanks for watching, guys. From me right now, it's been 50 minutes of talking. Time for tea, and have a great night. And good night from the Giant Lobsterhead. Good night from me. Have some tea. Oh, and one more thing. I think I'm going to do in my next video, because I think you guys will enjoy this. They just ended the Criterion sale on Barnes & Noble. But you know what they did put up? A 50% off British TV sale. So let's delve into my Doctor Who. If you're a Doctor Who fan, be sure to be there for that. Be here for that one. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and after that, we'll be going back to more horror or oriented stuff, I think, for a while, because I'm kind of in the horror mood. Enjoy your night, and from the Professor, it's time for tea. I gotta put all these back. Yeah. See if there's an empty shelf, I get a photo.